Call the Rockaway Township Council meeting, March 11th, 2025 to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence to remember the service and sacrifices of the armed service members who protect our nation and the first responders who protect our neighborhoods. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Here.
Councilman Sackett.
Here.
Councilman Quinn.
Here.
Councilman Brooks.
Here.
Councilwoman Noon. Here. Councilman Salberg.
Here.
Councilman Wojtovich.
Councilman just let me know that he is running a few minutes late. He will be here momentarily.
Council Vice President Brooks. Here. Council President Morrison.
Here. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the Daily Record and the official newspapers for the Township of Rockaway. Notice was posted on the official bulletin boards of Rockaway Township, the Township website, and notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk. Approval of the February 25th Township Council regular meeting minutes. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Yes.
Councilman Sackett.
Abstain.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Wojtovich. Council Vice President Brooks. Yes. Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 7 yeses, 1 abstention. Motion passes. Ordinance for introduction, O-2503, ordinance amending Chapter 7, Article 2 of the revised ordinances of the Township of Rockaway in order to amend Ordinance Section 66, establishing Title 39 Traffic Enforcement Plan for the regulation of parking, standing ingress, egress, and the flow of traffic on private property owned by Pondview, Inc., identified on the official tax map of Rockaway Township as Block 11501, Lots 41, 45, and 47, and Block 11502, Lot 2. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Council
Second.
President, before we take the vote on the motion, there's what I'm going to call a non-substantive typo in the last line of the title of the ordinance. It should read, instead of Lot 47, it should read 47.01 and 47.02. So if the council will approve that by acclamation, you can go ahead with the vote.
Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Yes.
Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Wojtovich. Council Vice President Brooks. Yes. Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 8 yeses, motion carries. All right, so I have an item on the agenda that I'm putting in between and before the consent agenda. There is a member of the council is contemplating putting forward an amendment to one of our ordinances, which would, due to a concern of Watercraft on Mount Hope Pond, the concern being is that the lifeguards are tasked with watching both the swimmers and the people on Watercraft. There's 3 options that are being put forward. One is no watercraft on the lake between Memorial and Labor Day at all. One, no watercraft on the lake while lifeguards are on duty, and then the other option is to do nothing. At this point, I thought that this would be a good opportunity to open it up to the council for discussion. When we're done with council discussion, I will open up this specifically to the public for any comment. Councilwoman New.
I have 2 questions. Are the question number 1 is, are the motorcrafts putting the swimmers in danger? Is my first question. And my second question is there an option to just hire more staff?
Council President?
Yes.
Maybe I can help everybody out. This request came into administration and to our office. The essential concept behind the request that an amendment to the ordinance be considered was predicated on the fact that when lifeguards are present, they are there for the benefit of the swimmers in the roped-off area. And the presence of permitted watercraft on the pond is a distraction to the lifeguards doing their primary job, which is to take care of the swimmers. It was about, I think, 2 years ago, when at the request of the full council, we did an ordinance specifying the type of watercraft that would be allowed on the pond, and therefore excluding anything that wasn't affirmatively named. So if the consensus of the council is you want to go forward with an amendment, which is totally up to the council, it would require an amendment to that ordinance, not as to the kinds or classes of watercraft that are permitted, but with respect to when they can be used. And Council President, do you want me to go over the alternatives that were proposed already, or you want to leave that alone?
I think we leave it alone. We're not voting on it tonight.
No.
Right? This is just something that I wanted to bring to light. I think it's a, pretty substantive change going forward. Mr. Quinn?
Yeah, what kind of motor are they talking about? A
There's no
trolling?
motorcraft. It's all kayaks.
It's all kayak and
And some other things.
rowboats.
There's no rowboats with electric motors.
There's electric motors for rowboats. They
Yes, but no.
they troll.
Right.
Yeah, and they're battery operated.
No gasoline motors.
Right.
No thunderboats with 800 horsepower.
No jet skis, nothing like that.
No.
And keep in mind too, at this point, it's great to ask these questions, but you need to understand these questions are going to be answered now without an answer. That's just things that we're bringing up.
I'm done.
Mr. Sullivan?
Thank you.
Go.
Two questions. One, do we currently have signage, like I believe there is up at Egbert's Lake, that boating is at the boater's risk? And also, do we know of any other lakes, both within the township or any neighboring towns, that have both unpowered watercraft and swimmers with lifeguards that are following the same suit of closing it down during this period?
Mr. Saget? Nothing. Thank you. Ms. Brooks?
So I'd like Dave also to chime in on this. I think Mount Hope Pond is very different than other lakes, bodies of water that allow the boating and the swimmers. So if you have someone out on a watercraft and they fall in and they're over by the cabin, are we expecting a lifeguard or someone of a safety team on the beach to stand there and watch? Or are they going to be sent out? Now, if anyone's seen Mount Hope Pond, the beach to say the cabin, because the boaters are fairly far out. But then our watercrafts include paddle boards, all of those things. You have people going out, I see it all the time, people going out on paddle boards, they're putting their little kids sitting on the paddle board and they're paddle boarding. Again, I think you're just putting your lifeguards and your safety staff on the beach at risk, because they're potentially going to save that individual, which I think that's what would be expected of them, regardless of what's on a sign. I think it's extremely dangerous, and it also then puts the young lifeguards at risk who potentially may go out there and try to help that individual so far away. But Dave, I'd like you to chime in too.
Right, to your point, it's a unique body of water, right? Because it's just that, it's a where there's lifeguards, it's all buoyed off where you go swimming, but then a quarter of a mile out is the log cabin where folks are on a kayak. So where's the cutoff where this individual goes under? What do we do? I know that there's been talk from other lifeguards about the situation. Hey, what do I do here? When am I liable? What am I not liable for? I have 50 people in the water right now, but my one eye is up at the end of the other side of the pond. There is signage. I'm not sure what White Meadow Lake does. It's a much larger lake. But it's a unique situation. With the ordinance, the other lakes, there are no lifeguards. There's no one there. So I think it needs to be looked at. I think it's a concern. And it does put our lifeguards at risk to who to look after.
My questions would center around how many incidents did we have over the last 2 years where lifeguard intervention was required, right, since we put in the ordinance for the boats? And then to your point, we do have plenty of bodies of water that don't have lifeguards. So is this an issue about trying to protect, life and property or overtaxing the lifeguards?
It's a unique situation, right?
Right.
It's the only one that we have that has
No, I hear you.
township staff, I guess, if you want to say.
Yeah, I understand.
We have staff members looking,
I got you. I'd like to know how many incidents we had that required.
none that I know of.
Ms. Noon?
Is there a beach over at the Boy Scout camp?
No.
How many launch points are there around Mount Hope Pond? 2?
Right. There's one main launch.
Okay.
Yeah, but it depends what you're launching.
And is hiring more staff an option? That would be my only other question.
Where are you putting?
Again, these are just generic questions. Councilman Brooks?
Thank you, Council President. I have a couple things about this one. Number one, as a former lifeguard, it's your responsibility to man the whole area, not just the swimming area, but the whole waterway. So if somebody goes down across the water, you would need to get there and do whatever means possible to assist. The second thing was, I did bring this up before we did pass this legislation, and my concern was also who we allowed to put boats or whatever into our waterways. And originally, I was told by administration that anyone that was going to be putting a boat in any of these 3 waterways would be going to get permits from the town and having them logged in and getting special permits in order for that to happen, so that they knew what the rules and the guidelines were. So that was originally what was discussed, and I know currently that is not taking place. I have no problem adjusting it to the timeframes as you were talking about, but that was definitely something that we talked about, because if you take, and Mr. Velarde will probably attest to this too, if you move the boat from one waterway to another waterway to another waterway, you contaminate whatever from waterway to waterway, right? That's why boats that go into the bay need to be washed before they go into a different body of water. So here for there. So the fact that Mount Hope Pond has been having water issues, right, recently, is because they're bringing these boats, I guarantee people aren't scrubbing or cleaning, and now bringing them into a freshwater parcel, of water. And I think that's contaminating it, right? And then it works its way down ultimately to White Meadow Lake, right? And then works its way to Parks Lake and cares, and then goes into the reservoir. But I had concerns when it was originally adopted, and I still do have concerns. Thank you.
Councilman Friedlander?
Everything,
Turn on your mic.
I agree. I mean, we have to look into it further, because the concern is the lifeguards. They can't look on the other side of the pond if something happens. And how do they get there? What, they gotta swim? Do they have a boat available, like White Meadow?
There's a rowboat that they can use.
They have the rowboat on the side?
It's a rowboat.
A rowboat. Well, so they gotta row wherever it is.
Right,
There's
again,
a lot of concerns.
Right, again, these are all things, we're not deciding this tonight, I just wanted to bring it to the attention. Is there anybody from the public that wants to talk on this matter? Yes.
Michael Lordy, 19 North Brookside Drive. One thing you can consider is making mandatory life jackets. I mean, nobody really wants to wear them. It's 90 degrees in July, but if that's the option to use the water body on a kayak or something, you can make them actually have to wear it. I don't know how you're going to enforce that unless you have somebody from the township once in a while, or a cop car drive by and look around. Also registering with a sticker that they live in the township to use the facility would help. But a mandatory life jacket, which you have to wear from November through May 1st, I think it is. Anyway, at any water body in the state, you have to actually have it on at any age.
Yeah,
But you can hold that through the summer season. which would help the lifeguards if someone does go in, at least have float.
And what parent shouldn't have,
Anybody else from the public?
Can you just go over the options again?
Juana, 11 St. Bernard Road. I used the Mount Hope, and it's actually very nice. I was excited, to have the kayak this year. I hope you guys make the right choice for all our residents there. And you suggest that we should put sticker or something for just the residents to use the lake. That's it.
Council President, can I
Yeah.
clarify something for the council which may be helpful as you think about this? Under the present format, where lifeguards be on duty, people with various watercraft are using other parts of the lake, from a liability perspective, if someone who was on a kayak or a board or whatever got in trouble, it would likely be expected that the lifeguards would be required to give aid. If you legislate something to restrict the operation or the use of watercraft when the lifeguards are there, it's still going to be incumbent upon the lifeguards to enforce the no-use rules for whatever period is decided as appropriate by the council.
Okay.
And it probably would be incumbent upon the lifeguards to give aid if somebody, launched something even though they weren't entitled to use it. And, in any event, now, I don't know, I don't recall, I'm not saying Councilman Brooks is incorrect, I just don't personally recall anything about stickers and registrations and things of that nature. But the bottom line is that do anything, well, if you do something, you're still going to have to adequately post the area so that, watercraft are not permitted X, Y, and Z, okay? And take steps to enforce it. So, for example, you have a day when the beach is in operation, the lifeguards are there, somebody shows up, two guys are carrying a kayak down to launch it, the lifeguards are still going to be under the obligation to tell those people, not today, Charlie.
Okay. Appreciate that. Councilwoman Noon, the two options, other than not doing anything, well, the one option is not doing anything. One is no watercraft at all between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
Okay.
And then the other one is no watercraft if the lifeguard is on duty. Again, we're going to take this back and we'll discuss it. And obviously, before this comes forward, there will be more public discussion on it. Okay, moving on. Consent agenda. R2544 through R25, is there no R2551? R2544 through R2550, and then R2552 and R2553. Okay, 2051 is later. Okay, can I have a motion?
so moved.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Yes.
Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich. Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 8 yeses, motion carries. Okay, before we get to open to the public, before opening the public portion of this meeting, I want to remind everyone of the rules that apply to anyone who wants to address the council. Any member of the public wishing to address the council will have 3 minutes to do so. While an extension of time may be requested, it should not be assumed that an extension of time will be granted. While addressing the council, members of the public may not address or question any individual council member. If anyone addressing the council violates these rules or conducts themselves inappropriately, their speaking opportunity will be terminated and they will be instructed to return to their seat. A refusal to comply will result in removal from the room. Members of the public in attendance may not make comments from the audience without recognition by the chair. Persons doing so will be subject to removal from the room. As council president, I have tremendous respect for my fellow council members and the public who take the time and effort to attend council meetings. These rules are necessary to permit the council to do its business in an orderly and professional manner. Michael Lordy.
Michael Ilardi, 19 North Brookside Drive. Thank you for the text message to remind about the meeting. I've seen more mini bikes zipping around the streets, no license plates. Sometimes the kids don't have helmets on it. I'm all for people having a good time. God bless you. But, I mean, the speed limit in White Meadow Lake's 25 miles an hour when some of these things go fast. There's also kids on quads that go zipping around. So, and even e-bikes, now that's getting nicer. I mean, they're not registered vehicles, but they go as fast as a car, some of these things. So it's something to look into. Also, the youth place gas work, I know it was mentioned a while back it was going to be through February, but I'm taking bets whether the mine shaft on Route 80 or the gas line on Youth Place is going to get done first. Street sweeper, I know the season's starting. If we can get the White Meadow Lake streets done with all the winter road grit and stuff, that would be appreciated. I know our previous site manager who retired always called the town to get that. I just don't want it to slip through the cracks. And the Colodi Basin at Beach 2, I'm sure has gotten a lot of winter gravel and stuff. If that can get cleaned before it ends up in the lake, it would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Warner Shapiro?
Juana, 11 St. Bernard Road. I have few concerns now the spring is coming. I live in St. Bernard's Richard Mine. It's like the restaurant in Recon. It's right in the corner. It's like a lot of trees, like bushes. Sometimes when after I drop my son from school, it's like a very curved area, and sometimes they're not being cleaned properly, so it's very hard to see which car, or sometimes now we have a lot of trucks, big cars, and it's kind of dangerous. I know we have stop signs and everything else there, but it's if the town can just keep that clean and safe for we the drivers. And I have also questions about the affordable housing. I don't know if you guys able to answer me now, but do we know where the building them and how many units does the state want us to build? And what benefits is the state or developers offering the town, if any? And also, how do we delay it until we get a new governor with some common sense? That's all. I mean, you guys can email me or answer me later. But my biggest issue is the roads. Thanks.
Got it. As far as the affordable housing, I was in a meeting with administration earlier, and it's still very in motion right now. There's no definitive answers. Megan O'Connor?
Good evening. I'm Megan O'Connor, and I'm at 64 Erie Avenue. And in the middle of January, the local outreach coordinator on social media tagged Rockaway Township to, quote, discover the benefits of home sharing. A few days later, this post was taken down from social media. And for those of you that are not familiar with what home sharing is, so home sharing is a not-for-profit organization that connects people to create, quote, mutually beneficial living arrangements and helping to reduce their accommodations and their housing costs. And anyone who wants to actually get housing in this not-for-profit program, they can come from anywhere in the country, but they have to be willing to move to the service area. And I actually called this home sharing organization last week, and I was told that they are in fact operating in the township. So those who want to be part of this home sharing program, the ones that actually want to maybe live with somebody who already owns a home, they have to go through a background check, which, quote, from their website, is completed using public websites such as Megan's Law and Department of Corrections. Also, during this home sharing agreement, there is a case manager that helps the person who moves in with things such as, and I'm quoting again from their website, financial stability, job seeking, and food and healthcare resources. So there's some stability issues there. essentially this program is creating rooming houses in our township. And some questions I have for the council is, how many of these houses are going to be allowed in the township? And do we have the infrastructure, the schools, the sewers, the roads to accommodate these new people? I do ask council to put an immediate halt on allowing this program to operate in Rockaway, because these background checks, by going into a public website, we all know that those kinds of background checks are not complete. If you're going to be doing a background check, you need to take fingerprints, and you need to have them sent to the state police or the FBI. I don't want to be accused of being unwelcoming. I think we definitely, as Americans, need to be welcoming, but we need to be smart about it, especially if this program allows people from, let's say, Arizona to start a new life in New Jersey. I want to make sure that our community is safe. Also, I do have a concern that the council is seeing individual events and not this big cyclone of events that are going to be happening in the near future. For example, can I have one more minute?
Yeah.
We have this big referendum for this school, which is coming up, which is, if it's passed, it's going to raise taxes significantly. We have the affordable housing, which, if we're allowing all these new people to come in here, usually not from Rockaway, our taxes could potentially also go up. And then you're going to put rooming houses around my house. That really doesn't incentivize a lot of people to stay in Rockaway. So I'm asking council to look at this program with a skeptical eye. Don't just hear their success stories, which I'm sure there are success stories, but to really look at it, like, does it actually benefit our township? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody from the public who didn't fill out the sheet that wishes to speak? Please state your name and address.
Sure. Stacy, Greg, Sunrise Road, Wharton. Never changed my address to Rockaway Township. Guess you don't want me, but anyway, it's Rockaway Township.
Go ahead.
My 3 minutes start? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm really discouraged about what's been happening in my town regarding welcoming and being a welcoming place. I think we can do better. You need to do better. I'm looking at a very, very big group of white boys and white girls here who are not welcoming. To allow, to allow the lady behind me who's heckling me, to allow your mayor to make a statement, coming in, a political statement, that he refuses to talk to the newspapers and give an interview about, but he's supporting a principal who in his day was, okay, principal, but we're sending kids into our Copeland Middle School where we had a $9.1 million lost case for bullying. It's the middle school that takes on all the elementary schools. For years, we weren't allowed to talk about bullying here. We were censored when we tried to bring it up to you as the council. But now we have a mayor who I'm more interested on a national stage than I am in a little local town like this, where I'm told, oh, on a local level, it's okay to be Republican, because we really don't have any Democrats that ever get anywhere. But, on a national level, we're all Democrats, and we support choice, and we support Black Lives Matter, and we support all sorts of things. We're welcoming, but not in my backyard. Don't do it in my backyard. Go somewhere else, because I'm going to move out. We'll move. But to have a principal be supported by the mayor when he does an egregious act of wearing a political hat to school, and then, if you read the comments that were in the newspapers, it's egregious. Over 800 of them the first day said he needs to be fired on the spot. But then to have a principal make a ridiculous digging his feet into his standard rather than saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I should not have done it, it was a moment of lapse. He blamed it on the children. We have serious problems in our school when the children know that the principal owns a MAGA hat, when the children are encouraging him to dress up as Trump. I'm assuming it was the white children and not any of the children who are not white. It's a racist hat. There's a joke out there, you know, you can't spell hatred without red hats.
Sir,
Shame on him,
your time is up.
shame on him, and I'd like to, don't you tell me to sit down.
Your time is up. I'm
That's,
asking,
thank you, I will. I
I'm
appreciate
asking-
that, thank you, Council President,
Thank
but
you.
you need to get the audience
Ma'am, your
in
time
handle.
is up. I'll ask you to sit down. Ma'am, ma'am, one more, Ms. Gregg, one more comment, I'm going to ask you to be removed. One more. Okay. We're going to open it up to reports. Let's start this end. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
April Patero, 14 Dudek Road. I wasn't planning on talking, but I looked at, just wondering about R2553, the Class 5 cannabis retailer by Smugglers Club. Where is that located?
Ms. Ferrante? That's the one on Chase Bank?
Okay.
That's the one
what I
that
thought.
was approved a year or two ago at this
It's
point.
on Green Pond Road, and the application is just a name change of the registered owner.
Okay,
That's
that's
all.
all it is.
Thank
It's
you.
the old Chase Bank.
Also, I want to say that if you support a principal who's dressing as a sitting president for Celebrity Day, doesn't make you racist. And just because we are white doesn't make us racist. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? You had your 3 minutes, sorry. Sir?
Just real quick, I'm not.
Just state your name and address first, I'm sorry.
Louis Cabrera, 38 Queens Road. She doesn't represent all of us, that's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Donna Marie Szynski, One Lake Shore Drive. You know, not everybody who looks maybe white, you know, I'm olive skin, I am part Hispanic, and I didn't find it offensive. I actually made the quote about somebody possibly wearing a suit with an ice cream cone in their hand last year. And maybe, I wouldn't have said a word, just like I didn't say anything about the Trump thing, you know. Free country, freedom of speech.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. We're going to move on to reports. We will start down this end at this point, Mr. Friedlander. I know you were. You got first this time.
I am sure. Historical Society, just want to let everybody know that the Ford Face House has a bathroom now. It was completed, and now they're going into the other rooms, and it's a big step forward, you know? No, not. But anyway, and then they're talking about, you know, the planning of the Rockaway Township Day and what else? The Pathways Tour. Because of the situation in the Ford Face House, we're going to probably move it to the Hibernia, the library, which is a historical building also. The library meeting, everything is it's pretty quiet and moving ahead. Substance Abuse Alliance. The phases have done well, and now the group is looking into the people that come, the dignitaries for the big day, which I'll keep you posted. That's it. Short.
Councilman Brooks?
You sure?
I might be shorter, I don't know, I'll have to look.
Get your mic.
All right. One thing for administration, I did get reached out to by a couple of the residents from Fox Hills, and they mentioned that the sign that's on the red light, you know, the stop sign and also the intersection there, it used to say Constitutional Avenue, and it's been down for a while, and they were wondering if it's going to be put back up or whatnot. So they sent me some pictures. I know exactly what they were talking about, but I don't know if a truck hit it. I don't know if it was taken down when they were paving, because, you know, they hit a bunch of trees. Yeah, so they're hoping that those can get put back up. The next thing was just a congratulations to our two recreation hockey programs. The squirt level lost in overtime on Sunday, and heartbreaker there, but our rec peewee team took first place on Friday night, so big to do for the rec kids, so that was really great. And they'll probably come in front of the mayor at some point, but it was really nice. For the kids were super excited, so that's it.
Councilwoman Newton,
No report this evening, thank you.
any report on, what's his name? Oliver?
Ziggy,
What is it? Ziggy, sorry.
is he sleeping?
Ziggy's our new council dog in the back there. Councilman Quinn.
Okay, so tomorrow night will be our first rec committee meeting. So I'll have something to report on that at the next meeting. Monday night is a planning board meeting, of course, St. Patty's Day, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's on the agenda. And then we have a budget hearing meeting on Saturday, so we'll be here for that to go through. And now that the weather has broke, everybody be safe. The days are getting longer. The kids are going to be outside, so watch your speeding. All right, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Councilman Salver.
All right, thank you. No report from the county commissioners this week. This Monday, the 17th, will be the first meeting of the Morris County Open Space Trust Fund Committee. We'll be electing officers and getting a first look at who put in applications. April 5th is opening day for trout, and I hope everybody can come by Company One Hibernia. Every year, the Ladies Auxiliary does a great breakfast there. It's been going on decades, so hope to see you there. And finally, I would just like to thank Councilwoman Brooks and Councilman Friedlander for stopping by the HCMA for Heart Month and HCM Awareness Day. Hope you enjoyed this day and saw some of the good work they're doing.
Amazing people.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Sackett.
Thank you, Council President, and definitely wanted to, what Mike said before about the kids without the helmets, it's going on all over the place in White Meadow Lake, and I know we brought it up, and me and Rachel brought it up a little while back, and now with the kids with the electric bikes, and it seems like they're getting younger on the bikes, or I'm just getting older and older, I don't know, but, yeah, it's a problem. I see the kids, the same kids are in the middle of Rockaway Borough there, in the intersection there, and it's becoming quite a problem. It's someone, I'm very concerned about that. So thanks for bringing that up. Just like Doug, Councilman Brooks had said, with the recreation leagues and everything, I just finished help coaching the rec girls basketball, 7th and 8th grade girls, and our team lost in the championship. But it was a fun ride, seeing everyone play. And Ray Furman, who runs the rec division, she does an excellent job there. They had the All-Star game over the weekend, and packed house over there in Copeland, and also all the seniors at Morris Hills and Knowles and Morris Tech finishing up their basketball careers. I saw you had a Morris Hills basketball sweatshirt on. My daughter just finished up her career at Morris Hills senior, so it was good. Finished up. They worked hard. The Hills girls lost in the state tournament. And I think Knowles, I think they won their state tournament. So yeah. So they did very well. That's good, and I'm surprised Jack didn't mention with the spring has sprung and the weather's great, like the track and lacrosse and all that good stuff starting out. Mayor isn't here, I didn't realize it, but I want to thank him. He's helped me. We've had a few issues going on in my ward in White Meadow Lake, and I brought a few to his attention, and very quick and responsive and helping me out with those, and also to Lisa, who took some time had a bunch of questions for her on the budget, and thanks for taking the time to answer all my questions. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Councilman Tovich.
I have no report. I just like to say that, this past Friday, Detective Joseph Escona from Newark Police Department was killed in line of duty. They're going to have a funeral for him this Friday coming up, so I would just like to ask for people to keep his family and the Newark Police Department in your thoughts and prayers. That's all I have.
Council Vice President.
Thank you. Just a reminder, tomorrow, the Board of Ed is going to have the review, and they're adopting a tentative budget. The executive session is starting at 5. Public, I believe, is still starting at 7:30, but just so everyone knows, their executive usually starts at 6. It's starting at 5. Also, I think it's probably been said ad nauseum at this rate. The Daily Record unfortunately put out a non-fact-checked article, and there was no vote today for a referendum. The referendum is on hold. A little disappointing that a newspaper would put out something to create such, I've never gotten so many text messages by 7 a.m. on a Monday morning. Yeah, what referendum, like, it was just really, so, back in December, they had put out a press release that the referendum is on hold indefinitely at this moment. They have to recircle their wagons and do a lot of changes, so I think that is not coming anytime soon. That also being said, I just want to thank the administration and everybody who's working. I see the machines at Telmark Park. I've never been so excited to see a park closed sign before. The neighbors and the kids, I had 2 little boys knock on my door today. Mrs. Brooks, is it true? Are we getting new basketball hoops? So I want to thank everybody for that. It's been a long time coming, right, Dave? And that is all I have.
Yeah, as far as that phantom vote that was today, I know on Monday, the clerk called me, and I think early in the morning, and the initial statement was, "What the hell?" So I know you were answering calls all day for that. So 2 things I have. One, echoing what was said down here, I want to thank everybody for their hard work on preparing for the budget meeting this Saturday, 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. It is open to the public, so it'll be in this room, so I want to thank everybody for the hard work that they're putting in on that. Two pieces for you, Chief. One, I've never seen more orderly traffic than when the police are sitting on that median on Mount Hope Road, where people are coming off in front of the mall. So I know they sit to the side sometimes, but when they're right in the middle, everybody's, just very proper. So just, thumbs up to that. And then, just to kind of point out how on top of things they are. So on my way here tonight, there was a school bus stalled right in front of the Exxon by the mall. I literally saw the bus stall out. I was sitting at the light, and then after I went, I used my hands-free phone. And I called and I said, I just called the dispatch, and they're like, "Yeah, we already know we're on it. We're sending somebody there." So they are all over it. So I just wanted to point that out. So thanks. Mr. Yachafano.
No report, Council President.
I'd also like to point out and refer the video of this meeting to the mayor in the future to show him what a recap can be condensed to. Ms. Palmieri, I know you have the mayor's notes.
I do have the mayor's notes.
Please proceed.
First of all, he apologizes for not being here tonight. And yes, I will provide his report on his behalf. Last month, myself, Chief Scheer, and the mayor and several department heads visited Pondview Estates, and we went over the services that we provide and answered many of their questions. They were very happy to have us in attendance. I think it was very productive. The residents were very pleased and found it very informative. Last Saturday, the mayor attended a craft fair at St. Cecilia's Church. And since our last council meeting, the mayor has performed 2 marriage ceremonies. We continue to track the status of the sinkhole repairs on Route 80, and we'll continue to post updates as they become available. And lastly, we received feedback from a resident, I believe it was actually 2 residents, regarding 2 members of our construction department, and I'm going to read the email they sent over. So this is from 2 residents on Lake End Road and West Shore. Working with Lou Turk and Stephen Shea, the building inspector, it has been an absolute breath of fresh air. These 2 guys are incredible, total pros who make the process as smooth as it can possibly be. They're helpful, straightforward, and actually seem to care about getting things done without dragging it out. My experience with them has been fantastic. So kudos to those guys. Thank you.
Okay, that's 1 minute and 16 seconds. Excellent. Any report of your own, Ms. Palmer?
No report, just, I wanted to speak with Mr. Galden regarding, the, microphones and filming for, Saturday.
Okay, I had spoke to him. He said he was already planning on being here.
Then that's all I have.
Okay. Ms. Fronte?
No report.
Mr. Tabbitt?
Thank you, Council President. Just one item to report, that the Rockaway Township was designated as a healthy town by the New Jersey Mayor's Wellness Campaign last week officially, so that's for work that we did in 2024. So thanks to the mayor for supporting the program and for collaborating on it. And also, I feel like I say it often, to Brittany Bernstein, who's really embraced the Mayor's Wellness Campaign and is doing a lot of good things around town to get the populace moving. So, thank you.
Chief?
Good evening, Council President, members of the council. February monthly report, calls for service, incidents, activity, 3,043, motor vehicle crashes, 69, 396 motor vehicle encounters, 2 domestic violence incidents, 187 fire, medical, or 911 calls, 9 adult arrests, 85 alarm responses, 8 community policing events, 1,575 residential, commercial, or school property checks, 18 assist other agencies, and 199 motor vehicle tickets were issued. One of the things I'd like to bring everybody in the community, make them aware of what we call the Blue Envelope Program. Caregivers know better than anyone the struggles that are faced by those who have autism spectrum disorder. It is sometimes difficult to communicate properly with those who have ASD. The Blue Envelope was created to help those with ASD as well as police officers in the event of a motor vehicle stop. The primary goal is to aid those drivers with document organization and educate them about what to do during a motor vehicle stop. So one of the things that we have on the township website under the police banner, if you go to the police and if you go to the services, you will see a whole section there on the website in reference to the Blue Envelope. It has instructions. You can also click on a full page of instructions. All of the documents can be organized in there with some of the other items that will be referenced in that instruction. All right, so that way, when a driver is pulled over, again, when it starts talking about noise or lights or all the different things that can be an issue or communication, and they have this available to them for the officers will automatically know what to do and how to deal with that individual, and it just helps that encounter be a much more successful encounter for both the officer and the occupant of the vehicle. Also, I would like to announce for the first time this year, the Rockaway Township Police Department is going to be having a junior police academy. So we haven't done that. We're going to do that for the first time this year. It's going to be in the summer. We're trying to work out in between all the other types of sporting events and different things that happen during that time frame. But again, further information will follow. We're looking probably about the second, third week of July. We'll see how that works out with some of the other things that are going on in town. But anyway, more to follow on that program. But it's an exciting week. It's a full week of events, and they get to do a lot of exciting things, obviously like a mock police academy. So they get to go to different field trips, right? So we take them to different places like the sheriff's department and the jail and other types of activities. We might even have a helicopter, state police helicopter. All right, so again, we're looking forward to that this year, and more information will follow. Thank you.
Councilwoman Brooks just told me that she is junior sized. Is she allowed to go?
Council President, I was going to say the same thing. I grew up in Rockaway. I never had a chance to attend this. You know, my son had to go to Denville because we didn't have it.
Middle school only.
Oh, man. Okay, I'll send my daughter. Thank you.
Mr. Heinzelman?
So for February, our volunteer fire department answered 50 calls of the 167 that the police fielded. The Fire Prevention Bureau conducted one origin and cause investigation on a brush fire. The Fire Prevention Bureau conducted 38 inspections of businesses in town. We did 21 home resale inspections in February, and I attended a full-day training on arson investigation. So everything is going good in the fire department.
Mr. Dyer?
Just real quick, the DMV is coming here next week. I'm getting a lot of phone calls. It is completely booked up, but we're gonna try to get them back again. And, have your patience. It's open to everyone in the state. And right now, everybody's trying to get their real IDs, and everybody's online. As soon as ours goes live, people are clicking and taking the appointments. So, Facebook is updated almost every day with different events going on in town. When you're on lunch or whatnot, if you go on our Facebook page, it has everything going on in town. So you should be in good shape. But that's all I have.
Mr. Nar?
For the department's actively replacing berms and pothole repair. We're gearing up for spring. As you see, we're doing Pelmar Park. We'll be doing pipeline in McVeigh's shortly after that. Water department, the well 10, we're waiting just final approval for one more signature from DEP before we can turn that on. And Parks is gearing up and getting ready for spring festivities.
Mr. Coward?
Nothing to report.
Okay. At this point, we're going to be going into a closed session. If anybody chooses to remain, right now I'm anticipating about 30 minutes. Should we be more than 30 minutes, we'll send somebody out to let everybody know. R2551, resolution authorizing an executive closed session in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act to discuss personnel matters. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Yes.
Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 9 yeses. I will see you in the room.
Let's leave that. Let's take this.
like to make a motion to return from closed session. Can I have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander. Councilman Sackett.
Here.
Yes.
Here, yes. Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 8 yeses, motion passes, and make a motion to adjourn by consensus. All in favor?
Aye.
Have a nice day.